What's up everybody, how's it going, and welcome to this episode of Car Rant. Today, we're finishing up some more stuff on the Metro, and possibly even riding it. So, over the last several weeks, we have been ordering parts for our Metropolitan project, getting stuff together so we can finally take this thing out for a test drive and see what it's really like. We've got a new throttle cable coming inbound, we got new tires, we even started taking apart parts of the assembly that's already on the bike that's a little restricted for our taste to get more power out of it, at least microns of it, because you know how scooter life is, and be able to just see what it's like to send it. We also got a couple of vanity pieces that for me are important because of what I plan to use this scooter for. Some people, they build scooters just as a fun thing to ride, much like a customized BMX bike. Me, this thing is actually going to be a mode of transit. Like, it's going to do work. So we've got a custom basket that we got from Partzilla. We're also getting a back bucket for this scooter so that we can put stuff in there. And we're going to be getting stuff for our little Frenchie friend over here. We're going to be getting scooter parts for you. That way you can ride with us. You can come for a ride. Does that sound good? He's excited because he knows the word ride. Yeah? You know that word? Also, he loves to chew on plastic bottles. It's weird. First, the tire situation. We actually ordered a set of 3.50 by 10. Yeah, scooter tires are tiny stuff, man. Like, no joke. Some of these smallest wheels, there are bicycle tires that are bigger than this. Like, anyhow, the point is, we got a new set of tires. These are MMG tires. Yeah, MMG tires. These are pretty much like your Canadas that you get for your scooter as well. They're basically a functional thing. These are entirely temporary because we do want to get a custom set of wheels, and we are going to go GT fatty, so the 50cc motor that's already on the bike, but extended with a much wider, excuse you, with a much wider tread. In fact, when we're done with the fatty mod, it'll be about as wide, if not wider, than that setup right there. Sir, can I help you? One thing I will say is that this scooter is in fact actually a barn find, because the previous owner claimed that they rode it some, but seeing what I've seen, they didn't ride it a lot, and it did sit, and it was covered in algae at one point. The guy did mention that when I bought it from him. And when we took apart the airbox, which you'll see in a second, there was so much junk. A nest fell out, the filter that was in there was just completely shot, not usable, which explained entirely why it bogged if you revved it too high. So we're gonna go start the bike with new setup without the airbox on it. Yes, there is no filter right now, but we're not all that worried about it because the area that it's in is not that dusty, so we're not worried about particulate and messing up the motor and all that. We're gonna try and get the throttle off. The throttle is routed through the housing, so we had to take the housing off in order to get the throttle off. But as you can see, we took the airbox off. This is the back half that goes up against the car. This is the side that faces us. We wanted to take it off because when we lower it, the airbox will be in the way, because we plan on replacing this whole setup, and we don't want the box in the way. When we took it off, we found that there were a few lines that lead to it. On ours, it's 3 main ones that are here. So there was an induction port and all that stuff, but with us taking it all off, the induction port's gone. This is the filter. As you can see, just demolished, useless, disgusting.
Sounds way better than it did the other day, so I think it's sitting, it's helped it out a lot. Now it's sidling back down a little bit. But yeah, check this out. It definitely sounds different. Oh, and it definitely smells different. definitely a better wheel.
Alright, so with it more or less established that we've got everything else with this bike working correctly, the main things that need to get fixed are the throttle, the headlight, which I forgot to mention earlier, and getting the tires done. One other thing that I do need to offer up is that we do need to add coolant. Stupid me didn't realize that the tank is actually pretty much empty, so we're going to completely reload it with coolant. I have green stuff in the house. It's meant for higher horsepower vehicles, but I'm pretty sure this will work fine here, just as a temporary solution until I can get all the fluids I really want to use, like scooter coolant and all that stuff. Finagling the throttle out of that spot where the throttle bolts to the actual throttle plate. Oh, let me tell you, narrow space, even with all of this, the fairing taken off, that's still, whew. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fish this thing up through underneath the fuel plate, which, yes, we do have it on a tight leash, so we don't want to lift it off entirely because there is half a tank of gas, but we're going to be very careful, lift it up, pull it through, and pull it out the top so we can then unscrew it from here at the handle. Which, if I haven't explained why we're taking the throttle off, the throttle in question is actually damaged. The cable is stretched, and on top of that, it's sticking. So we want to just go ahead and just nip it in the bud, get a whole new line, and that's coming straight from Honda directly, which is going to be really nice when we go to put this back on. We're men of tradition on this channel, and what do we do with parts we don't like? Disrespected! We got the throttle off. We had to unbolt this here housing on the OEM unit, and I gotta say, I have never seen so much red lube in my life on the throttle handle, and I am now wondering, because I wanted to get a new handlebar. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that with this much crap all over it, because obviously I can't leave this loose. I did want to get the same ones I had for the ruck put on this one, but man, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna have to steal the actual handlebars off the ruckus and put them on this one. Listen, we've made our fair share of mistakes on this channel, and today we undid one because holy cow, I'm very glad I did this. Took off the gear oil bolt and tried to change it out, which is a good thing. You should, because it is a chain driven system. You do need to change it out to make sure it's all clean. That is what came out. This is so full of metallic garbage that I could paint my walls with it and make it another color that it already isn't. This is above and beyond terrifying. I don't want to take off this casing to try and access the gear oil for this CVT system, but after seeing that, I may actually go ahead and just take it all off so you can see what's going on, because that is very disturbing. After seeing how bad that the oil that was in that part of the bike was, we went ahead and we ordered new parts, just because if it's that bad and there's that much metallic garbage, it's a high chance that it's got damaged gears and whatnot. So we ordered a new timing variator system and basically ordered just a whole new trans in general. We also ordered all of the parts we need for the airbox delete. So now we've got intake filters and all the stuff that's required for that to work correctly, in addition to a higher revving CDI, so that now we have something that can be tuned on. We already have a good spark plug, but we are getting a spare one with the kit that we ordered from Drow Sports. So more or less, this bike is getting overhauled pretty intensely before we ever get into the stretch mods. Which, another day, another dollar, as they say, and we finally have our parts from Partzilla. We have our new basket piece. This is going to go up against the interior fairing section. This will allow me to carry stuff like water bottles or whatever else on my little road trips when I do take them, as well as the new throttle cable. Brand new, shiny, clean, fresh from Honda, and this is way better than what's in the bike right now, let me tell you, because the one that's in the bike right now is very, very sad. With Merlin as my little watchdog, making sure I don't die, we're actually gonna do something really dumb. All we needed in order to make this thing run was that throttle cable. Now that it can run, we're gonna try and ride it. Nothing's bolted together. This could go horribly wrong. I could break my arm. But we're gonna try and ride it as is and see what it does, so that when the new variator parts come in, we'll know what to do with them, and more importantly, we will noticeably see a difference. So, not gonna wear the GoPro for this because my GoPro is kind of dead, but I am gonna grab my skateboard helmet. I'm gonna give this a shot. Dirty Nasty skateboard helmet, check. Unwilling lab viewer, check. Alright, let's see if I can make this thing work. Oh, that is a sensitive throttle. It works. It works. Alright, let's go take this on the street and see what it does. As it just does. Cool, it runs, buddy. It runs. That's what matters. So I went for a ride, didn't have the camera, because I got a little too excited and just said, screw it, let's go. And I'm going to show you guys again on camera, but this thing is a lot of fun. I never realized how much fun something like this could be, because like growing up I never had like motorized scooters or anything like that. I just had pedal bikes and pedal scooters and things like that. So for me to have my own little engine powered scooter, I think this thing's a lot of fun. And no, I didn't crash it, but it definitely did die a couple of times, and that's definitely because we don't have the air kit installed yet. Also, I'm pretty sure part of that is because of the transmission and variator. I have a sneaking suspicion that that's part of the issue. So I'm going to let it cool back down because there is not enough coolant in it, and I'm going to go fill it with some coolant right now. That way we can make sure that it stays cooled, and that might actually be playing a major part into why it's dying, now that I think about it. But we're going to let it cool back down, then go for a ride with the camera on the tripod in front of the house, and just go up and down the street just to test it out, dial it out so you guys can see what's going on with this thing. Here we go. You ready, Merlin? I'm not worried about it. There we go. There we go. There's touchdown. So, there we go. There's definitely air in the tire. The entire front assembly is off by like 30 degrees, so I'm holding it where it would be straight, but no, it's completely canted to one side. Idles relatively well. Wasn't gonna get full throttle because it's a tiny space in here. So, yeah. I think for the getting it to work part of this project, I think we did pretty good. I think for now I'm going to leave the variator the way it is, but I definitely need to get the air kit put on, get the range extension for the NCY CDI put in, and maybe see about a smaller fuel filter. I think it's actually getting starved a little bit, but yeah, we did good. Now I'm going to go put this back in the backyard. Actually, I'm going to put it in the garage. As is, this episode is long enough, so I think next time we'll look at the rest of the parts that we're going to put on this bike and put the fairings back together and all that then. So, with all that said, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. God bless you, and peace.